Well, once again, let's give our young people a tremendous round of applause. Excellent cow show out here for your youth show. So 3 cows I felt were in contention for your senior champion. Our first one being our senior 3, the young man at the far end. Beautiful dairy cow, a cow with a lot of drop to her rib and openness to the rib. A cow just recently fresh. A cow that she comes back out here for champion. She's held her seam a little nicer and got a little less congestion in her udder than she did in class. But I think a cow that's just going to continue to develop as the summer goes on. Then we pulled out a pair of 4-year-old cows. A pair of cows that stood a lot of competition in that class and held their own. Our toughest class of the day. And the first cow here, an ultra dairy cow, high style individual. You love the height and width of mammary system and beautiful udder on her. Then this black cow, our second place 4-year-old, follows that same pattern. Very snug in her attachments, very balanced on the udder floor. And for senior champion today, we're going to stick with this pair of 4-year-olds. They'll be your senior and reserve senior champions. Our second prize cow here today, good up here today. Just more balance on the udder floor from the floor to rear quarters, a little less tilt. She's a little longer bodied individual all the way through. But taking nothing away from that senior 3-year-old, that young man's got quite a nice young cow here. She'll be your honorable mention. Congratulations.
And the senior champion of the junior show is entry number 1606, Miss Angel DeLucci, exhibited by Connor Herbson. Reserve goes to 1609, Rosalind Jasper Corvette, exhibited by Tori Everett. And honorable mention, the 1408 Butlerview Aftershock April, exhibited by Ryan Lauber. Next we'll have our grand champion of the junior show. Grand champion trophy sponsored by Bill and Jean Erke. Reserve grand champion by the Greene County Junior Holstein Association. Competing for that will be our senior champion, entry number 1606, Miss Angel DeLucci, exhibited by Connor Herbson. Reserve senior champion, the 1609 Rosalind Jasper Corvette, exhibited by Corey Everett. Our junior champion is Craig Crest Rejoices Reconfirmed, exhibited by Ava Dornick. And the reserve junior champion was W.I. Fisherdale Damien Rambo, exhibited by Sarah Griswold. Those are the animals now competing for our grand champion of the junior show.
We pulled up 2 fall yearlings out here for grand of your junior show, and I think a pair of tremendous individuals, and I think these young ladies will be battling out on into summer and fall. But we're going to stick with this beautiful pair of others, 4-year-old cows. They'll be your grand champion and reserve grand champion today. Congratulations.
And our grand champion of the junior show is entry number 1606, Miss Angel DeLucci, exhibited by Connor Herbson. And reserve goes to entry number 1609, Rosalind Jasper Corvette, exhibited by Corey Everett. Next class in the ring will be our senior champion of the open show and the senior champion trophy sponsored by International Protein Ciders. Reserve senior champion by the Greene County Holstein Raiders. There were 18 4-year-old cows. The winning entry was 1615 Sandy Valley Atwood Blackie, presented by Mike and Julie Duckett and David Diamond. The second 4-year-old was 1627 East River Gold 850, presented by Milk Source Genetics. There were 11 5-year-old cows. The winning entry was 1707 Brook Goldwyn Cameron, presented by Bud John, Peter Lynn Vale, St. Jacobs, and Clark Wittgenstein. Second to 1716, Ludwig's DG Goldwyn Ella, presented by Ludwig Farms and Tony Nettemeyer. There were 12 age cows. 1803 was the winner, Rosedale Lexington, presented by Rosedale Genetics Limited. The second age cow was 1805, Macbeth's Fortune Cocaine, exhibited by Milk Source Genetics. The winning 125,000-pound cow was 1905 Van Durham Treasure, exhibited by Mike and Julie Duckett. And second to 1901 Hazelwood Flower, exhibited by Beth Nelson. These are the animals competing for our senior champion. Certainly we're nearing the climax of the show. Probably a couple other awards we should announce before we get all our champions done and you take off. The premier sire of our show is Maple Downs G.W. Atwood. The winner of the State Herd Award, sponsored by Milk Source Genetics, is the state of Wisconsin. Our premier exhibitor of the show, receiving an award from Crescent Beauty Farms, the Hetz family, goes to Milk Source Genetics in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And the premier breeder of the show, receiving an award from Four of a Kind Partners, goes to Bud John Farms and Joel Keatsman, Bud John J.K. Let's give a nice round of applause to all these winners of these awards.
Yeah, you know them all.
Our judge is now ready to name our senior champion, the open show, and reserve senior champion. Chris?
Well, I think all these exhibitors need a tremendous round of applause. What a great group of cows out here. And I think some great individuals. I want to thank all the breeders and exhibitors and the show staff for having me here. It's certainly been an honor. This is the best group of Holstein cows I've ever had a chance to line up, and can't say enough about it. But for me, there's 4 cows that sort themselves to the top. You bring them out here in the middle of the ring, the first one being our 4-year-old cow. What a silky black cow, strongest class of the day, and for me, she won that class quite handily. A cow you love the angularity, the silkiness of hide, a cow that travels out very correctly on a set of feet and legs and very snug in her attachments. Then we move on to our 5-year-old cow, a cow that won that class quite handily. When you get behind this cow, what an impressive rear udder. You love the height and width and volume that this mammary has. A cow with enough width and substance, tremendously wide all the way through. You love the depth of body. Then we move on to our age cow. A cow that's been milking quite a while, but still has that silky dairy quality look all the way through. Had 3 calves fresh since June, very youthful in her mammary system. She carries that udder tremendously high above the hog. Then we move on to our 150,000-pound cow, and what a mammary system on this cow. A cow that's 11 years old, stood the test of time, just a tremendous udder on this cow. A cow that still travels about the ring fairly comfortably for 11 years old and 6 calves, but 4 tremendous individuals. I want to go out and select your senior champion, reserve, and honorable mention. a great group of cows, and we're going to stick with this 5-year-old. What a tremendous dairy frame cow. You love the size and scale, the openness of rib, the tremendous rear udder attachment on her, the width and substance she has all the way through. For me, she quite handily is your champion today. It's closer for reserve, but today I'm going to make best udder and reserve champion under component cow. A cow that's 11 years old and carries that kind of mammary system. Had 6 calves. I give her that advantage in her height and width of rear udder today, more volume to the mammary system over our H cow. But that's nothing to take away from this H cow. What a beautiful dairy frame. A cow you love the length from end to end, the silkiness of hide that she has. But 3 tremendous individuals for your senior reserve and honorable mention. Congratulations.
The grand champion of the show, our senior champion of the show is 1707 Brooke Goldwyn Cameron, included by Bud John, Peter Lynn Vale, St. Jacobs, and Clark Whitmancy. The reserve champion is 1905 Van Gogh Durham Treasure, included by Mike and Julie Duckett. And honorable mention to 1803 Rosedale Lexington, included by Rosedale Genetics. Our judges also are ready to name our champion bred known to the show. This award is sponsored by Rock and Hill Holsteins and the Holstein Association. Chris, your comments on the champion bred known?
Champion bred known will be our honorable mention senior champion today, our first prize H cow. Just a tremendous individual, a dairy quality cow. She'll be your champion bred known. Congratulations.
And our champion bred known cow is at number 1803 Rosedale Lexington, exhibited by Rosedale Genetics. Congratulations. Next, we'll have in our grand champion female in the open show. This trophy is sponsored by the Cattle Connection and Holstein USA. Reserve grand champion trophy from Litter Farm, Randy and Robert Nye. And we'll also name in our best udder of the show. And this trophy is sponsored by the South Dakota Holstein Association. The animals competing for our grand champion of the show. Our grand champion was a fall yearling, entry number 628, co-star Larian Goldwyn, exhibited by Chuck Butler. And the reserve was a winter yearling 528, Rotina Zelgadis Page, exhibited by Ernest Kiefner and Jeff Butler. Our intermediate champion was our winning junior 3-year-old, entry number 1303, Dream Prairie GW Alberta, exhibited by Milk Source Genetics. Reserve intermediate champion was 1302, Weeks Dundee Annika, exhibited by Milk Source Genetics. Our senior champion was 1707, Brooke Goldwyn Cameron, exhibited by Bud John, Peter Lynn Vale, St. Jacobs AI, and Clark Whitmancy. And the reserve senior champion was 1905, Van Gogh Durham Treasure, exhibited by Mike and Julie Duckett. Let's give these individuals and their animals a nice round of applause, please. Obviously, the grand champion of the show is the highlight of the show. We'd like to take this opportunity to reintroduce our judge, Mr. Chris Lombers. Chris and his wife Elizabeth and their children Elena, Ava, and Audrey reside in Marysville, Ohio. Chris graduated from Ohio State University and worked as a dairy program specialist for Cova Select Sires for 13 years. He grew up on a registered Holstein and Brown Swiss farm and now owns that farm of Brown Velvet Brown Swiss and Lawdale Holsteins. He's bred 5 All-American Brown Swiss and owned the 2005 Intermediate Champion Brown Swiss at World Dairy Expo. Chris has judged numerous shows, including the 2013 Wisconsin Holstein Futurity, 2012 International Holstein Junior Show at World Dairy Expo, the 2012 Midwest Spring Red and White Show, 2011 International Brown Swiss Show, 2011 New York Spring Red and White Show, and the 2011 Pennsylvania Holstein Spring Show. And now he's judged our Midwest National Spring Show. Chris has placed 123 heifers